What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Batty Talks. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been about 3 weeks since the last episode, and I've been pretty spotty ever since I got back to school, and there's a reason for that. That goal I set out on at the start of the year, I wanted to do these every week so I could get better at them. I could, talk thoroughly throughout the entire episode, stuff like that. I didn't stutter. I didn't stutter. I feel like I've made a decent amount of progress on that. Like, I feel like I've gotten a lot better from 10 months ago when I started doing these for real. So I don't really feel that need to do these, but I still want to do them every single week. So we're gonna try. But if I miss a week here and there, it's not the end of the world. As long as I don't turn into like the weekly slap and I'm like once every 6 months. As long as I'm not doing that, I feel like you can forgive me for this, but like I just kind of want to like hammer home the points that I really want to talk about. So if I have a week where like there's nothing to talk about, I'm like I really can't, I just don't want to, whatever. It's whatever. But if I go like more than a month, then like I probably like died or something. Nah, I'm just kidding. But what are we here to talk about today? Well, I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently. I've completely ixnayed Twitter.com. Like completely deleted my account. Like I deactivated it. Like I actually had some banger tweets on there, but but I deleted the account. I deactivated the whole thing. It's gone. I can't even use Twitter.com anymore, which is good. But that means I have been going on YouTube a lot more, and I've been seeing a lot of doomer stuff. It'll be like videos from people that aren't YouTubers, and it'll be like I'm a 35-year-old loser. Here's how it happened. I just saw one, this dude was playing skate. He was like, I wasted my life or something. It was something like that. And like this stuff is crazy to just sit there and listen to, someone just dissect their own life and like how much it sucks. Like it's terrible, but it's like it's so human in a way, I feel like it brings us a little closer together. But the point I'm trying to make here is sometimes somebody will be trying to give advice, like on a channel like this one, very similar to this one, and they'll be giving very general advice. I am probably a criminal of this. I can't think of the word. I definitely do this. I definitely have done this in the past, but I was watching through this video today and I realized, hey, the best part of these, My Life Sucks video is like hearing the exact details of this guy's life. Like hearing this guy's specific life story, exactly what he went through, what he's done. And I have done videos like that in the past, but I wanted to kind of revamp this whole thing for right now. Maybe I'm overdoing it here, doing another one, but I'm gonna do another one, okay? And we're just gonna go through my life up to this point. And, we're gonna take a moral from the story so far, okay? And you'll probably be able to guess what the moral is. So, when I was born in 2005, March of 2005, I'm actually 20 years old right now. Stuff was going good for a while. I think like the first like 12 years of your life, you can just sort of like, unless like some really bad stuff happened, it's probably pretty much generally the same for most people. First 12 years, you're hanging out with friends in the neighborhood. I used to do that all the time. You're going to school, making a fool of yourself, whatever, being a good two shoes, getting good grades. Maybe some of you weren't doing that, but first 12 years of your life, whatever. But then you get into middle school. For me, when I got into 7th grade, that's when I started like actually thinking. Like I think there's like two stages. Like when you get to like 3 or 4 years old, you start making memories, right? Like you can start remembering things. I don't think you actually start thinking things through, like thinking about life and stuff until like 7th grade, which is when I started thinking about life. And I was just sort of I became a very cynical person in middle school. I feel like most middle schoolers are pretty cynical. But it was just sort of this idea that like life doesn't even matter. It wasn't like emo, but it was nihilistic, I should say, you know. So what if I don't have a good life, you know? It doesn't even matter, bro. um and I sort of maintained that through till probably my senior year of high school. And in that time, what did I do? I pretty much just played video games, you know. I wasn't on any sports. I didn't do any sports. I would come home from school, I would play video games, and then I would go to sleep and go back to school the next day. It was pretty crazy stuff. It was pretty crazy stuff. And this game is way faster than I thought, so we're going to speed it up here. When I got to senior year, I actually started doing stuff, and I started playing the bass. And then I went to college. College was a huge game changer for me. I think that sort of shifted my perspective on life a lot, you know, in my freshman year at college. I sort of realized, like, hey, it's good to try at life. It's good to want to have a good life and end up in a good position in your life. Like, that's a good thing. Um, and yeah, that's how I still feel to this day. You know, now we're going through the daily struggles. We're trying to make something of myself. I'm trying to become either a great man or a good man. And those are two different things. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. But this story was not nearly as involved as I wanted it to be. Moral of the story is you should try as hard as you can, and you're a unique person, even if you've had the same lives as many other people, okay? And that's what matters, is what's specific to you, okay? That's the moral of the story, okay? But that's all the time I've got for today. I'll see you guys next week on the next episode of Batty Talks. If you send me a question at battytalks@gmail.com.